Hi guys, in this video, let's talk about the Lostark tier list based on the Serka Nightmare. Yes, so before start of the making tier list, I want to say that nowadays Lostark balance is very broken. Before arc grid is open, normally when some strong class is there, because of the some pros and cons, when some class have the big damage, but have then maybe that class have the low stagger. So tier list become very different based on what is the late, because of the important things of the late is different. Like the Act 1 and Act 2, Act 3 have the different important points. That's why based on the same balance patch uh, version, the tier list of the dungeon is different. But after the arc grid, so I said, before arc grid, except the 1, 2, 2, 0 tier classes, strong class have some penalty like the bad utility, bad stagger, etc. But weak class have good gimmick ability. And also, gap of tier 1 to 4 is not big, less than 20%. So if the combat score 4000 Aeromancer is lose to the 3000 Breaker, all people think that Aeromancer is not the good player. But after Arcade is open, strong class also have the good gimmick ability, utility, HP and armor, or etc. many things. But while weak class have the bad damage, also bad gimmick ability, bad utility, etc. Also the damage gap between the tier 1 to tier 4 is very bigger than before, almost 30%, more than 30%. So now in KR server, if 4000 breaker combat score win the 5000 combat score machinist or artillerist, all people accept this result because of the tier gap. Thinking the tier gap, it is acceptable. And if this 4000 breaker is lose to the 5000 machinist or artillerist, people think this machinist or artillerist very good player, or breaker is bad player. In here, when the Serka Nightmare is open, normally tier server have the combat score cut line with the 4500 combat score, normally for the bad classes. But in the Korea server invent site, 3.8k combat score to the 4.2k Serka Nightmare class party is appeared. But there is no 3 low tier dealer, like the Machinist, Artillerist, Aeromancer party, but all type of party who clear the Nightmare with low combat score contain the OP classes like the Breaker, Berserker, or Lancer, etc. So this is the nowadays Lostark balance, very broken. So that's why after this video, all tier list is based on the balance patch versions, not the dungeons. All dungeon will be very similar. So difference of the first mode with Serka Nightmare in here, because of these issues, strong class have the good gimmick ability and good burst damage and also higher DPS. So no big difference except head of the dealer or good stagger dealer in the Serka Nightmare with the first mode, because the stagger ability, long time stagger ability is very important in the Serka. So it can give more points, but I said you, strong class have the better stagger than weaker class. So that's why no change of the tier 1 to tier 4 is happened. And also because of that fight new system of the real stagger is changed to the fight system, also there is the that burst damage is have the merit. But in here I said you, strong class have the more burst damage and also more DPS than weaker class, whatever the class is. So that is not the points we should think about the tier list. So I'll make this tier list based on the party offset. Why? Because tier server don't have the meter. So the more accurate, the informations will be get by the global server, Steam server, after the Serka Nightmare is opened. So what I should make the tier list nowadays is the party offset, not only damage. And all case of the party offset is based on the best core combinations, like the in KR server, Devil Hunter, like the Overload is very OP. So I will put the Overload as the S tier. But if Devil Hunter use the other core, it is very trash. But I will just think to So let's make the tier list. So first is the Breaker with Hitmaster. This class is the super OP after the Arc Raider list, also in the Commander first, Kazuro's the first mode, and also Nightmare. This Breaker with Head Attack is very bad at the first in the Kazuro's, but after get the structure buff, this become very good class now also. But when thinking the just Kazuro's case, it will be the A tier, but because Head Attack and High Stagger have the very good merit in party offset in Serka Nightmare, because Head Attack is very easy to do some gimmick like the Just Guard and counters, which is very important in Serka. So that's why I put it in the S tier. If there is the more tier as the OP, I will give this Hitmaster to the OP, but because this is just SS, I will put like this. And Soul Eater, this engraving is very good, so I will put this as a because with this class, this Soul Eater is weaker than this Breaker, and this specialization Soul Eater is bad and Devil Hunter bad. Machinist, both of them is really bad. In your party, reject is very happen based on the class. And Striker should a very good damage because of it. This can go to the A tier, but this class should go the C to B. But in my thinking, B is right. Oh, why this bug is happening? I figured like this, I don't know. And both of Arcana is very good, but this Emperist is better, S tier. And Golancer. Always Golancer should a very good party accept and enough damage nowadays, but thinking vs these characters, but so that's why I put the A, and this Blue Golancer also have the good party accept, so I will give to the B. And both of Scraper should good damage potentials and enough stagger, but in the party offset class case, I think just A tier. And Burst of Glavier is bad. And Sharpshooter, this is B and this is C. And Paladin. Also nowadays, I will put down one more, no data. With that Dill Paladin, I don't know it exactly, so I will put the no data. And the supporter case, I will put the supporter case just as the SABC. Paladin is the worst supporter nowadays. And Gunslinger with this class is very good now. And I know that damage is a little weaker than these A tier classes, but because of the good stagger, I will put it at A. And Peacemaker is really bad. And both of Surfist is the B tier, not A because not very strong like them, but not C because they are stronger than them. And Aeromancer, both of Aeromancer is really bad. But this in Snow Powder Sinking, he put this Windfleet similar to the B tiers. And Demonic case, these Swiftness characters, yes, both of Demonic is maybe the C, not D, not very big. And now the S tier of supporter is the Artist. And Devil Hunter with the Battletech case is the C, and Destroyer with the Gravity is S tier. But this specialization is just C tier. Leafer is the S or A. What should I put? Because of the stagger ability, yes, S tier is right. And this case is just B tier. Bard is the A tier. And the Warden's case, because of the low stagger, the party offset is very low, and because of the Christianers also get the more reject in the party. But thinking the damage case, not that very low, so that's why I put them to the B and C. And Berserker with specialization super OP in the KR server, and the swiftness is bad. Death Blade is in here, the thinking the class damage and stagger is not that very high, but because of the back and head attack synergy, party offset is very well, so that's why I will put this at the A, and burst should go to the C. Because D tiers are very trash. And Bearish Artillerist is the super trash. D tier. End of D tier. Why? Because they cannot use the the Shadow Blade battle item in the bearish mode because of the motion, and they cannot do some gimmicks at the bearish mode because of the space issues. I will say about later about that issues with other videos. So this Barrage Artillerist needs some structural change. And Firepower showed a very bad performance also, because nowadays, before the Artillerists, many people think that Artillerists have the good stagger, but after many stagger buff of other classes and Archwit, FP showed not that very high stagger, so it is just C. And Sotoris A tier, very high damage potential, and because of that new stagger fight system, it is very OP in there. And this Reflux should be the B. And Guardian Knight. In near this Dreadnought is the B. Have the enough damage and head attack and many stagger and many push immunity, but because of the new class that thinking, many people say, oh, they will not the expertiser, so many reject. And this class have the very high damage and good space ability, so maybe have the potential of damage and other things A, but because of partial reject, many partial rejection is happen. But expect also thinking the partial reject, this A tier is very good. And some other case, in here, most of them is the B, not that strong and but not that weak. I know that in the Kazaros, the summoner have the very high damage, but because of the stagger ability, the summoner is not that welcomed nowadays in the Serka Nightmare. And about these classes, this transformation is really bad, but this class have the very good ability, A or B. What should I go? It's maybe B, because this summoner is B. This class in Raven is little weaker than the summoner, but have the higher stagger, so maybe same line will be right. And Valkyrie supporter is the a B tier, so better than Boy Paladin. Why figure is like that? And this, sorry. And Slayer, both of Slayer is A now, with the new builds. So this is the end of tier list. Supporter Valkyrie is tier, but in here I put the wrong figure. And Dealer Valkyrie in here should go to the B also. So both of Valkyrie is B. And I don't know why this bug is happen of that figure, so you guys can think, oh, tier list acts like that. And thank you for watching.